Hey guys, it's Eric, free NBA Daily Bets. Welcome back to another show. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I love sharing winning information and I love winning NBA bets. So it's a win-win for both of us. I just ask that you give a like, leave a comment on my social media, show some love, tell a friend. Let's keep winning money. Now, recap of last night. I'm doing the show right now, and the Lakers are still playing, so it's probably looking like a small winning day or a break-even day. I really got hosed by the Cam Thomas news of the Brooklyn Nets, and I hate waiting all day to release my plays. Like I'd rather just release them and get it over with, and just know like, hey, I got my numbers, I'm good. Just live with it. But the NBA injury report is so fickle sometimes, guys. Like these guys just sit out randomly, so I might have to start releasing my plays like until I know the starting lineups are official. Which then you have to wait for my picks for the entire day. But it is what it is, guys. Like I would have saved money. I would have won more money today if I had waited for that, and then I would have won more money because I would have bet Charlotte. That's a fact. I would have bet Charlotte without Cam Thomas and Nick Claxton. This is a little bit too much out for the Nets. But anyways, guys, I digress. Let's get into the games for Wednesday. First up, we have the New Orleans Pelicans at the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is a second game of a back-to-back for both of these teams tonight. Both of them played. Cleveland lost at Boston. They are no longer undefeated. They lost by 3. That was frustrating. Oh my gosh, guys, so frustrating. Both like the freaking Cavaliers. I mean, it's weird. I hit the over 236, but I had a 4-unit play on Boston minus 4.5. Like I think Gorgeous Niang hit like a layup with like at the buzzer for like no reason at all, other than just for the tiebreaker. Well, I guess the NBA Cup tiebreakers, like it was good that he made that, but still that was frustrating. But let's see how many minutes the Cavaliers starters played, and then let's look. I mean, my goodness, New Orleans lost by 41 points to the Mavericks. Call that right, guys. I called that right. First quarter, first half, full game on the Mavericks. Let's take a look at the minutes report for each team. So Donovan Mitchell played 40 minutes. Evan Mobley played 38. Darius Garland 31. Jared Allen 28. So Mobley and Mitchell played heavy minutes. Gorgeous Niang played 30 minutes. So some things to monitor. That and Donovan Mitchell sat out Sunday, so I really don't know if Donovan Mitchell's going to play tomorrow, guys. I don't know if he is because he sat out Sunday resting for this game. So I don't know. Donovan Mitchell might not play on the second night of a back-to-back after he logged 40 minutes. Okay, and he got hit in the mouth. He was bleeding at the end of the Celtics game tonight. So yeah, really, I'm not sure if Donovan Mitchell's going to play tomorrow, guys. That's something like if you like New Orleans, it's hard to like New Orleans right now, especially on the road. New Orleans at home, even shorthanded, I can bet on New Orleans at home shorthanded. New Orleans on the road right now, man, guys, I think you're losing money. I don't even think you're flipping a coin on that one. I think you're losing money on that proposition. Anyways, let's take a look at the sorry-ass New Orleans Pelicans. Javonte Green, 30 minutes. Brandon Boston Jr., 30 minutes. Trey Murphy III, 29 minutes. But Trey Murphy, he's like fresh off an injury. Like he's only been playing a week. So, and I don't know if he's going to play in back-to-back. So Trey Murphy might not play tomorrow. Keep that in mind. Brandon Ingram played 33 minutes, and that's really anybody who logged heavy minutes. So I would expect everybody for the Pelicans to play tomorrow except for Trey Murphy III. He is their best shooter. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. I mean, shoot, Trey Murphy out for the Pelicans, Donovan Mitchell out for the Cavaliers. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on this game. Honestly, I can only look Cavaliers minus 13.5. It's a tall number, but honestly, I mean, you just can't trust the Pelicans right now. Let's see what the over-under's at. It's dropping. It's dropping. I think for good reason. Pelicans, they can't score. Cleveland likes playing defense. Cleveland can score a lot. Oh, and that's the other thing for Cleveland. So Karis LeVert and Okoro did not play today. They were questionable all day for the Celtics game. They did not play. Maybe they play tomorrow. Maybe they sit Donovan Mitchell. Maybe Okoro plays. Maybe Karis LeVert plays for the Cavaliers, and that would be a lot of fresh legs. So like, yeah, I can really only look. it's tough, guys, because in the NBA, when a team loses by 40, they're going to come out and they're going to freaking play hard the next day. So I know the Cavaliers are off a loss. I don't know, guys. I would still lean Cavaliers minus 13.5, but I think we will get a good professional effort from the Pelicans. Like that team does have some pride. They do. So I kind of take that back. It's tough, guys, actually, because when you lose by 40, those NBA teams they're gonna give some good effort. I wouldn't be surprised Pelicans first quarter, first half. That and these two teams just played recently too. But yeah, these two teams just played recently. I think the Cavaliers pulled away in this. They did. The Cavaliers pulled away in the second half. Sorry, this is all coming back to me all at once, guys. But yeah, if I had to play in this game, I would lean. I would lean Cavaliers minus 13.5. I don't feel good about it. I will not be playing this game. And over under 219.5 is what it's at right now. 220. I'd lean over that 218. Second night of a back-to-back. Karis LeVert, Okoro might come back. Those are fresh legs. Pelicans, they're going to try to give a professional effort and play better. I kind of lean over. All right, enough of that game, guys. Sorry, I went kind of long on that one. Next game up, we have the Chicago Bulls at the Milwaukee Bucks. These two teams played like the first week of the season. I think it was like a second game for both of them. It was on a back-to-back for the Chicago Bulls, and they went into Milwaukee and they won by 11 points, and they were down like the entire game, and they stormed back and they won the fourth quarter, took control of the game. So Milwaukee remembers that. Milwaukee has won 3 out of their last 4 games. They are fresh off that nice win against Houston at home. So Milwaukee, they're going to be ready to go. Damian Lillard's healthy now. The only people who are out or questionable is Chris Middleton. And who else? Yeah, that's it. Everyone else is healthy. Oh, Giannis is probable. But Giannis has been probable for like the last week and a half. He's played pretty much in every single game. So I do expect Giannis to play. So again, they have good momentum. They're at home, and it's not a back-to-back situation for them. Their next game is Friday at home against the Pacers. So good focus spot for the Bucks. Good momentum. Everyone's healthy. Second game back for Damian Lillard. He had a little bit of rust last game. Probably knocks that rust off more this game and has a really nice showing. That's what I'm thinking. For the Bulls, they've been alternating win-loss. That's kind of been their season. And then sprinkle in maybe like a 2-game losing streak here or there. So they're off of a very nice win at Detroit, who the Pistons are actually very good this year. Yes, I will say very good, not just good. I think they are very good this season. So the Bulls, they got blown out by, Houston. They got blown out by Houston. Then second night of a back-to-back, went to Detroit, pulled off a very nice wire-to-wire win. They're leading the entire game. And for the Bulls, everyone is healthy except for Patrick Williams, their power forward. He is questionable. And again, no back-to-back spot for them as well. They play Friday at home against Atlanta. And also, if you're thinking like, Chicago to Milwaukee, this is a very close proximity for both of these teams to play. So they're very familiar with each other. They're very close in proximity to each other. This is like, hey, let's go play our big brother up the street kind of game. So with that all said, I can only look Milwaukee minus 7.5. Let me see if the line's moved a little bit since I looked at it last. There's some 8s up there, minus +8. And the reason I can only look them, and trust me, this line is a pretty good line in my opinion. I see value on Chicago too, but just the spot itself, Milwaukee can just obliterate them in the paint down low. So the rebounding advantage, points in the paint advantage is huge. Now, the Bulls like to push it fast, and they like to shoot threes, and they score a lot of points this season, right? So that always makes you worried about taking that minus 7.5 spread range, because a team can always shoot themselves back into that point spread. So kind of weird there on like the full game point spread. I will be on the Bucks first quarter, first half, get a lower number there. Definitely will be on them first quarter, first half. The Milwaukee Bucks, that looks like a very nice strong play because they already lost to the Chicago Bulls on the same court this season. So I like the Bucks to start fast. Whether or not they pull out that full game spread it's kind of iffy in my opinion. I lean that way just because I feel like they can dominate, and the Bulls are accustomed to getting blown out. Bulls have been getting blown out this season, guys. They have. So I can see this one kind of getting out of control. I lean Bucks full game spread as well. Over under is at 236, and I don't know. I feel like the Bucks. I mean, let's take a quick look, guys, because the Bucks defense has actually been pretty good during this win streak, or not win streak, but like their progression of winning more. So in their last 4 games, they held Charlotte to 114, or no, 115. Houston to 100. Detroit went to overtime, but that was the second game of back-to-back for both of them. So if they didn't go to overtime, that would have went under. Against Toronto, which is a fast-paced team that plays no defense, they held them to 85 points during this stretch. So, but I know that was without Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard doesn't play any defense, or he's not very good at defense. They were starting bigger guards. I do lean under here, guys. I do lean under. There's no back-to-back, a focus spot for each team. Intensity for Milwaukee is going to be there because they want to beat this team. So if you feel like Milwaukee's going to win, maybe they win like 125, 110, something like that. Really stifle Chicago and they blow them out. Like that's like worst case scenario. I would feel like for Milwaukee, or best case scoring scenario for Milwaukee. So yeah, I do lean under 236.5. All right, next game. Let's go to Oklahoma City. We have the Portland Trailblazers at the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder are playing right now. Let's see what the score is. I'm on the Spurs plus 10.5, baby. So that's all I care about right now. And the Spurs are winning by 10. 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter. So I love that from my bet, guys. I'm spot on this right now. I hope Oklahoma City comes back and they win. Because Oklahoma City is already off of a loss, right? They lost to the Mavericks. And so I'm telling you guys, this Chet Holmgren thing, and I wrote about this today. On my San Antonio Spurs breakdown on Twitter. Follow all my official plays at Twitter at Easy Money Wins. Again, that's at Twitter at Easy Money Wins. Okay, I wrote about this. I said, no Chet Holmgren at home is different than no Chet Holmgren on the road. Now, why would that be, guys? Why would that be? Because you can kind of mask your star players being out at home, because that home crowd will get the others, the role players, to raise their game and play better. Now you're on the road. Now you're facing more adversity. Now you're in a different environment. And that was the other thing. Oklahoma City had 5 games in a row. This is their first road game at San Antonio. So they're struggling right now. They're down 13. They're down 83-70 now. So I do think Oklahoma City's at a vulnerable point right now, okay, feeling the effects of running the small ball lineup, because that's what they've been doing. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's been their tallest starting player in their starting lineup. He's only 6'6". So they've been running Jalen Williams at the 5. So, again, and then Isaiah Joe. Isaiah Joe is out tonight. They're starting shooting guard. So there's a lot of people out right now. I hope they come back and they win. Oklahoma City right now against San Antonio. I wouldn't like them off of 2 losses. And I'm saying all this because I really, really, really want to freaking bet the Portland Trailblazers right now. I really do, guys, because in my opinion, there's no way they should be getting 14 points right now with the way that they are playing. Again, Portland is on a 3-game winning streak right now. Yes, they won all their games at home. They beat the Atlanta Hawks. They came back and beat the Atlanta Hawks. They were down by like 15 points, I think, 10 or 15 points. And then they came back and won that game outright. And then they beat the Timberwolves 2 times in a row. So they're playing well. And again, so their previous 2 road games, they got blown out. They got blown out by the Minnesota Timberwolves and somebody else. What was it? Was it OKC? Let me see, guys. Maybe it was Oklahoma City where they got blown out. Let me see. I forget who they played. No, I think it was the Spurs. Yeah, it was the Spurs. They lost by 13. But that game was closer than the score was at the end. But still, before that on the road, they beat New Orleans, who I said again, New Orleans is feisty at home, and they lost to Phoenix by 6 points, and they were in that game. Then before that, their other previous road game was against the Clippers, and they won that game by 1 point. So those are like two really good teams, right? The Phoenix Suns and the LA Clippers, and they won one of those games and kept the other to a 6-point lead. And now layer in this fact. You know what, guys? I don't even freaking care if the Thunder lose tonight. I don't care. I'm still going to be on the Portland Trailblazers tomorrow. And again, why is this? Because they have the size advantage. Again, Oklahoma City does not have the advantage. So like all these extra rebounds are going to be going to Portland. All these second chance opportunities close by the rim are going to be going Portland's way. Okay, that's going to keep this game closer than a blowout. Like, and the other reason why I like this, and so Oklahoma City, they blew out the Pelicans like a week and a half ago. But those are the Pelicans, guys. They can't shoot that well. Portland has scores on their team, at least maybe not amazing ones, but good enough to keep this from a blowout, guys. This is probably going to be a 4-unit play, guys. It probably is going to be a 4-unit play. I'm sorry. There's no way the freaking Trailblazers. They're 6-8, guys. Like they're playing competitive basketball. They're being marked like they're just going to get blown out tomorrow, and like they're not. They're marked like they're the Wizards right now. They're nowhere near the Wizards. They're nowhere near the Pelicans. Like in fact, the Pelicans had a plus 14.5 a week and a half ago too. This Trailblazers team is better than the Pelicans on the road. They will stay under that number. That's going to be a 4-unit play for me, guys. Really excited about that. And the other way I'm going to bet this game is Trailblazers team total over. So it's going to be probably around 104.5, 105.5. So for them to get to 106, 105, Thunder on a back-to-back, they're going to be a little tired. They're not probably going to play the best of defense, even though they play good defense. I do like the Trailblazers to keep this close. And yeah, that's my breakdown on that game. Let's keep it moving. Indiana at the Houston Rockets. Indiana has Miles Turner questionable. He did not play the last game at Toronto. Ben Shepherd is questionable. He did not play the last game at Toronto either. So maybe those two guys come back and play. They really need them to play because they have a lot of injuries. There's still no Aaron Nesmith. There's still no Andrew Nimhard. Johnny Furphy, I think he was like their second-round draft pick. He's questionable at the guard position. So they're really struggling at that backup guard position, and it showed last game against Toronto. Okay, so if Shepard's out again, like that's not good because then your only good viable option on the bench is T.J. McConnell. Well, actually no, because he would start. You wouldn't have anybody. You would not have a good bench, a good backup guard situation on the bench for Indiana. Miles Turner doesn't play. Like you still have Jarace Walker and Obi Toppin, so you're okay. But like, you know, you want Miles Turner in there. I mean, Miles is a very good player, especially when you're going against the Houston Rockets. You know, you got Sengun and Jabari Smith down there. So, like, you need your size against the Houston Rockets. They're gonna play physical down there. So, they're off a bad loss to the Raptors. And like I say, guys, if you listen to the podcast, I am dropping free gold for you guys. Okay, what's the Indiana Pacers? They are a schizophrenic team. They alternate wins and losses, not just this season, but last season as well. They'll have an amazing win, they'll have an awful loss. So they're off an awful loss, but you know, just because that's their pattern, they need the roster to compete to make that happen. So like, if Miles Turner and Ben Shepherd's out, like I'm sorry, I think Houston's going to crush them here. I think Houston was going to blow them out, guys. Now, if both Miles Turner and Ben Shepherd play, okay, then I think it can be a more competitive game. I still like Houston in this spot. Houston's off that 1-point loss at Milwaukee. They're going to be geared up and ready to go. This is the start of a 3-game homestand for them. They have a double home game against Portland on Friday and Saturday, so no look-ahead spot. Coming off a loss. They had a 5-game win streak before that loss to Milwaukee. They're going to regroup, refocus. It was a very short road trip to just Chicago and Milwaukee for Houston. I like them to regroup. They're just a better team than Indiana. They just are, and they got great veteran leadership, a good deep bench, plenty of scoring, plenty of good defense. Like they're just a more grittier, nastier team. Indiana's a soft team. They're soft. They kind of like play when they want to play good. They play up to their competition, down to their competition. Like. But in my opinion, Houston is asserting themselves as top dogs. The spread is kind of high. It's at -6 and -6.5 now. Wow. The only thing with Houston, guys, sorry, I haven't got to Houston's injury report yet. Jalen Green, their best scorer, best shooter, he's questionable with an illness. There's a lot of illnesses going around in the NBA right now, guys, and a lot of those players with those illnesses are not playing. So Brandon Podzinski for the Warriors, he came out and he said the Warriors training staff, medical staff said they couldn't even identify what the illness was. So, a lot of these players, and it's not just one team, it's a lot of teams, guys, a lot of guys sitting out. There's something going around in the NBA locker rooms. I don't know what it is, but these guys are sitting out. So Jalen Green legitimately might not play tomorrow, okay? I wouldn't feel good about laying points with Houston without Jalen Green out there. And then Cam Whitmore, backup guard, he's questionable as well. So, yeah, I need to know if Jalen Green's going to play if I'm betting Houston. If Jalen Green does not play, Miles Turner and Ben Shepherd do play, I think you play Indiana +6. I think that's a little too much. I think Indiana gives a really, really, really good effort. Over under is 231. I would lean under 231 because Houston plays really, really slow and physical at home. But again, that's just a lean for me. Let's see, under 231. So yeah, it's just a lean for me, guys. Okay, next game. We've got the Philadelphia 76ers at the Memphis Grizzlies. Philadelphia 76ers had a players-only meeting, but yet they basically broadcasted it out to the public. So, Philadelphia is a freaking mess right now. My goodness, a mess. So, basically, this team meeting, Tyrese Maxey, apparently, these are the sources coming out. We haven't heard from the players yet, but this is apparently what happened. Tyrese Maxey called out Joel Embiid for being late to team functions, team meetings, team shoot-arounds, all that stuff. So called him out in a players-only meeting. That got leaked to the public today. So Joel Embiid, he is immature. I don't think that's really going to affect him. As far as the chemistry with Maxey and all that stuff. I don't know. I mean, let's see. Maybe they speak tomorrow and we hear from Embiid before the game, and we'll get a better feel for what's going on in that locker room. But also, Maxey is questionable. He hasn't played in a while, so he might actually make his return. And they'll need him because Kyle Lowry, the backup point guard, he is out for a week. So, yeah, you're gonna have Embiid and you're gonna have Paul George, but you need a good point guard in there. Okay, you do. So hopefully Maxey comes back because I really, really, really want to bet the 76ers. They're 2-10 right now. They have the worst record in the league, tied with the Washington Wizards. So bad stuff happening in Philadelphia. Now, the only problem is, and again, no back-to-back for the 76ers. They play Friday at home against Brooklyn. And the other thing for the 76ers, I want to bet them, but it's Memphis at home is really good, and then they're off a really bad loss today where they are losing by 15, 20 points in the second half to Denver tonight at home after they just basically took care of Denver 2 nights ago. So I don't like betting against teams that are off that kind of loss like the Grizzlies are right now. So the Grizzlies, this will be their second game in a row against Philadelphia, or second game in a row, and then they played Denver yesterday and now Philadelphia today. And it's hard for me because I know Memphis is a really good team. They're coming out with a lot of pride. Vince Williams did leave the game early today, so I don't know if he's going to play. Marcus Smart is going to be questionable. He had an illness as well. And then Zach Edey and John Morant, they're still week to week. So kind of be seeing the same guys you saw tonight play again tomorrow for Memphis. They're at Chicago on Saturday, so no. Well, obviously, yeah. I mean, they're out second game off a back-to-back, but they get 2 days off to rest after this game. I can only look Philly, guys. I can only look Philly. It's a pick'em price. It's -1. Let me see what the line is now. Oh, damn, it's -2, -2.5. Philadelphia. Yeah, I think Philly's going to win this game. I think they'll get their third win of the season. I think that players meeting, I think there's going to be some intensity and grit. They were close to beating the Heat. Well, not close, but they played a good first half. So I do lean the 76ers to, at the end of the game, get there and beat this team. They're better. They're more talented than the Memphis Grizzlies. Are they in better form right now than the Grizzlies? No, but this might be the game where they turn it, the turning point, where they like say, hey, we have the players only meeting. Let's go out and win this game and let's make it happen. We have the players to do it. So we'll see. I'm probably going to be on the 76ers tomorrow. It won't be enjoyable to play that because of their current form, but that's what it will be. Over-unders at 218. It's hard to bet 76ers games over, but with Memphis on a back-to-back, Memphis loves playing with pace. Memphis is probably going to come out and give a really good effort. I lean over 218. Okay, next game, guys. 3 games left, guys. New York Knicks at the Phoenix Suns. This is an interesting spot. This is an ESPN game. Suns have lost 4 in a row, 5 of their last 6 since Kevin Durant went out, and Nurkic is questionable in this game. You really need Nurkic in this game. Not really need him, but I mean, it would be good to have him. Bradley Beal is still out. This is the second of a 6-game homestand for the Suns. So, theoretically, they should be getting right at this homestand. They're on a 4-game losing streak. Second game of the homestand. Let's get a win here. And then the other thing is, sorry. The other big thing is that they're off a full week. And now not many teams in the NBA during their season are you going to get a full week off unless it's the All-Star break. Like that, this does not happen like ever or like very, very rarely. So they don't play again until next Tuesday against the Lakers. So they're getting 6 days off, guys, essentially 6 days off. So they're going to give it their all tomorrow. The Phoenix Suns are going to be giving it their frickin' all tomorrow, okay? The New York Knicks, they're kind of in a different situation. They're starting a 6-game road trip. They're off 3 wins. So Suns are starting a homestand. Knicks are starting a road game. One team has 4 losses in a row. One team has 3 wins in a row. Their next game is Saturday at Utah for the Knicks. So a good rest spot after this game. And Deuce McBride is out for the New York Knicks. I mean, it doesn't really matter if anybody on their bench is out because, Tom Thibodeau will just play everybody 40 minutes. So, you don't need a bench when you play everybody the entire game. So, with that said, the over-under is at, not over-under, the spread is at +6. And looks like there's a little bit of buy on the Phoenix Suns right now. But yeah, that's the only way I could look. I think the Suns have a legitimate chance to win this game outright. And I also like the Phoenix Suns team total over. That's going to be around 108.5. I really like that. The Knicks on the road have been giving up a lot of points. So I do like the Phoenix Suns to get up and over that number at home against the Knicks, who have not been playing the best of defense. And that is my breakdown on that game, guys. Okay. Next game, we have the Atlanta Hawks at the Golden State Warriors. These two teams played last year. The last time they played, Curry had like 60 points, and the game went into like double overtime or something like that, and the Warriors lost. So that was the last time that these two teams met. Each team scored like 140 points. It was a crazy game. So the Hawks have won 3 out of their last 4 games. They're off of a win by 1 point at the Sacramento Kings. So, they've been in the area. Sacramento is really close to Golden State, so not bad travel for them. They're playing at Chicago on Friday. So no back-to-back for the Hawks. No back-to-back for the Warriors as well. Their next game is Friday at New Orleans. Everyone is healthy for Atlanta except Jalen Johnson. That's, honestly, you could argue is their best player, even better than Trae Young. He's the power forward. If you want to bet the Hawks, you really, really need Jalen Johnson to play. And he did not play the last game against Sacramento, so he legitimately might not play. But everybody on the bench is finally healthy. So Bogdanovich is healthy. Boothkin is healthy, the backup point guard. That's big. That's big for the Hawks. They finally have some bench depth. But Jalen Johnson, you definitely need him in if you're going to feel confident about betting the Hawks. Now for the Warriors, Steph Curry and Kevon Looney are probable. Kyle Anderson is questionable. Everybody else is healthy, good to go. So Warriors are looking really healthy. They're off a 3-point loss to the Los Angeles Clippers. I like the Warriors to bounce back in the spot. I like them to win the first quarter, first half. That full game spread is at plus 8.5, and that is just a little too high for me right now. If Jalen Johnson doesn't play, I can understand taking minus 8.5. But if Jalen Johnson plays, I think that spread's too high. The Hawks are going to give a really good effort. There's plenty of rest for them. That number's a little too high. And I also like the Hawks team total over because we're getting good value there because they're the underdog. So you'll get a lower team total than you would for the Warriors. So that team total, wow, this total overall is getting bet up. It's already at 239. That team total would be like 115.5 for the Hawks. I do like that, and I do like that game over in general, just because the Warriors, the Hawks don't play good defense, and they play with fast pace. The Warriors, they can play good defense, but Hawks games just go over the number, guys. So it's hard to bet those Hawks games under the total. All right, so that is my look for that game. Last game on the board, we have the Orlando Magic at the Los Angeles Clippers. And let's see here. Magic are -2 favorites, and the total is at 206, and it's dropping. I see a 205.5. So the biggest thing for this game, guys, is that the Clippers are going to be without Norman Powell. He is their most efficient shooter. Okay, obviously James Harden is like the best scorer, but Norman Powell is an above 40% 3-point percentage, which is like elite in the NBA. So if you're shooting, elite shooting in the NBA for 3-point land is 40% or better. Damian Lillard lifetime is only like 36% or something like that. So putting that in perspective, you'd think Damian Lillard is a great shooter. Yeah, he is. He's a good shooter. He can get hot, but his career percentages aren't amazing. Steph Curry's like a 41.5% career three-point shooter, I think. So just to put that into context, So Norman Powell is a 40% 3-point percent shooter. That's huge. He shoots a lot. They don't have a good second shooter off of James Harden. So with Norman Powell out, I can only look the Orlando Magic here. Orlando Magic, they're on a 6-game win streak, so they're in rhythm. They're playing very, very well. This is the first of a back-to-back for them, but it's in LA again on Thursday against the Lakers, so there's no travel. So the Magic can still give it a good go here, knowing that there's no weird travel spot. They'll go back and sleep in the same hotel that they are sleeping in tonight. So they literally don't have to do anything. Just go back to the hotel and play the Lakers on Thursday. So not an awful spot at all for the Magic, and they're very healthy. So Wendell Carter Jr. might actually play. He's missed the last 2 weeks, but he's questionable. He may play. But yeah, they just have the size and the defense just to smother the Clippers. They just do, guys. They're a team in rhythm, team playing great. Very small pick on price at -2 essentially. I can only look the Orlando Magic. They're just the more complete team right now than the Clippers are. And then for the over/under, especially with Norman Powell out, guys, I can only look under the 206 because I don't think the Clippers are going to score a lot, and then the Magic are fine playing a slow tempo. Both teams are fine playing a slow tempo game, but the Magic are very comfortable just winning 98-95. They're very comfortable doing that. So I'd only lean under 206. And that is the podcast YouTube episode. And I appreciate you guys listening again. If you listen this far, guys, please show some love. I'm doing this for free. I'm up 27 units year to date. So the 100 unit better would be up $2,700 right now. And this is only November. It's only 1 month into the NBA season. If you multiply that by 6, you'd be up $12,000 at the end of the year. So just show some love, guys. I do appreciate you guys listening, and let's keep winning money, guys. Let's keep winning money. All right, see you tomorrow.